Well, thanks for joining me, Tony Truman.
No problem, darling.
And how are you?
To see you. Very good, thank you. Enjoying this beautiful hotel here, the Bless.
The Bless Hotel.
At Calanova. Thank you, the Bless, for hosting us today.
Yeah, it's beautiful here.
What a setting, eh?
It's amazing.
And Makes you want to get married, doesn't it?
It does. Well, ish. And I love that we're here because we were talking about the importance of family and time off, and you're a man of your word in that. And I was reading on your LinkedIn post on the way here something you wrote 8 months ago about what happened to you when you were 32 and how that sort of changed your perspective on certain things.
Okay. Oh, right. The fire in my house. Yeah, the fire in my house. That was the most tragic time of my life. Up until that point, I was having the time of my life. You know, constant, just gradually building my business, gradually sort of, trying to become a little bit more sensible, but I was still partying a lot at that particular time and everything, going out all the time, being in Ibiza, being in London and travelling and everything. And then that unfortunate, tragic accident happened at my house that night. And it changed my world forever, it really did, in all my outlook, in all my doings and my behaviour, me as a person. Definitely the most impactful thing in my life that's ever happened was losing a friend that night in a fire through a very unfortunate situation, and especially when we'd all been out together that night and everything. And then the follow on from that as well, how I sort of reacted to that and everything was very, very sort of different. It was like real wake up call in my life. And I'd never experienced anything like that before, and I pray I never experience anything like that again. But that was a huge, huge turning point in my life. I'm not going to say for the better, because obviously something happened which was for the better for my particular life, but unfortunate for poor Hayley's life, the lady who died in question that night.
And so what would you say massively shifted for you if we make this like a turning point, pre-fire and post?
I think I was just, maybe sometimes you just get carried away. It's easy to get carried away with the party and the lifestyle that we had, and constantly going out, constantly with friends, constantly after partying, constantly jumping from a relationship here and there and everywhere, and moving about and being very transient. And for me, it just made me realise what was important in life. The family, number one thing. And obviously meeting Hayley's family after the fire as well, and obviously the grief that they had, and just my morals all sort of shifted a lot after that. And I sort of came, maybe more sensible is the word, maybe more cautious, definitely more cautious, a lot more careful, not so carefree and reckless like I had been up until that point, of just living like just this party animal basically. And when she died, it made me think, wow, what am I going to do with my life? What am I doing in my future? I'm 32 years of age. It's a bit similar to when women sort of come into their late 20s, 30s, and they start thinking about babies and things like that. That sort of realisation happened to me after that fire. Because before that, I was just like, let's go party.
Yeah. And did that change the way your work or what you were doing in
business?
Yeah,
it did, because I had sort of no money at that particular point, and I was just sort of living very much hand to mouth, living off friends, living off the last party I did, but spending all the money that prior to the actual event of the party that I had and things like that. I thought, do you know what, I've sort of built up a really good little thing here with business-wise, with the sense of following I've got for my parties and the crowd and all my friends and everything. Now I just thought, then after the fire, I just thought, I've got to turn this into a business somehow now, because I can't keep messing about like that, because otherwise more terrible, tragic things could possibly happen to me again in the future if I carried on like I was and everything. So I think when I obviously lost all my possessions in the fire, which is minor obviously compared to what Hayley lost, it sort of brings you, when you've got nothing, and I literally had nothing. I had no home, I had no clothes, didn't have a pair of shoes, didn't have anything. You imagine when your house is burnt down and every single thing that you own has gone, you are at rock bottom. Had no money. The last bit of money I had was in the fire, hidden in a cornflakes packet, and sort of literally, but I was very fortunate that a lot of my friends all rallied round, supported me, came out, helped me out, gave me money. My other friend came round, gave me loads of clothes. My other friend paid for me to go on holiday because I needed a few months or so later, a couple of months later, I needed a break after the inquest and everything. So it was a very traumatic time, and it's something which I now reflect on quite a lot. I still think about it a lot and everything, and if I'm ever getting a bit carried away, ever getting a bit mad or carefree, I always sort of sit down and have a little contemplate on that and go back to my thoughts and my lifestyle at that particular time.
And so your business life now is pretty large. IMI Group.
Yeah, IMI Group, yes.
And so talk to us about that for those who don't know what you oversee.
Yeah, we've got in our group there, we've got a number of companies with our flagship business being O Beach Ibiza and now O Beach Dubai. But we have lots of subsidiary businesses under that umbrella and everything from WikiWoo, Ithaca, Lineker's Skinny Kitchen, blah, 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 to name a few, and from building companies. And that business has grown over the last 17 years into quite an extensive portfolio, quite diverse as well, property and land and things like that. And I think a lot of the diversity within that group came after COVID. We actually thought, wow, hospitality is so affected. Maybe we need to look at some other angles in the future. So if something like that ever happened again, we would still hopefully have potential incomes from other sources. Because you never know. You never know what can happen, can you?
And how did COVID not floor you?
It did floor us. It did floor us, you know. We were very lucky. One of my business partners who looks after all the financial side of the business is very careful and prudent with money. And so he's very good at sort of, let's say, stashing it and or not spending it, and I'm the one who spends it.
Good combination.
Great combination. He always pulls me back on that. Dwayne, and Dwayne's an amazing businessman, and he really looks after the nuts and bolts of the business. You know, I put the bums on seats and are very much the creative and the people person, but that can't be it all. You need other people, and Maxi, my other partner, he's very good on sort of, you know, moving forward and things for the future. And Wayne is very good at being the PR person and stuff like that. And Tony Wheelchair, there's 5 of us, and Tony Wheelchair sort of sits more so in the background. So it's a good combination.
It's a great combination.
Yeah,
and you're going to be known as the spender then.
I'm the spender, yeah, I'm definitely the spender.
What's the craziest thing that you've spent money on that you've got some slack for from the guys?
Women. Giving loads of drinks to women.
Okay, anyone listening who wants to twist Tony's arm on anything?
I'm a sucker for that on my table, getting drunk with loads of people I don't know. But that's all part of the PR as well, you know. It's sort of, you know, they don't get the ump about that, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, we pay for a lot of it ourselves, our partnership, you know, not everything's free. I think a lot of people think they see me sitting there every day and all the drinks I give out and everything comes as a freebie, but it's not. They've all got a cost to it, which all affects the P&L of the business and everything. But I've slowed down. I only do that 3 days a week now.
Nice. What days do you choose then?
I'm actually going to change my days. I'm going to do next year. I've been doing for quite a number of years now, a Friday, a Sunday and a Tuesday. Three of our busiest days in the beach club. But next year I'm going to shift it up for the first time. I'm actually going to do a Saturday, a Wednesday, and probably just leave it on a 2 days next year. Because I'm 57 now, I'm not getting any younger, and you know, a lot of people come in, my friends are coming to O Beach now, they say, God, isn't it young in here now, isn't it young? No, it was the same age group who were frequenting O Beach as were 12, 13 years. We're just the ones who've got older now. So yeah, I'll try and sort of diversify a little bit next year.
Yeah, and so being 57 in this industry, you've been in it for how many years?
Since I was 15.
Wow.
So that's 42 years.
42
years. Obviously, those first years, you're not into business or anything. It's all about having a laugh. Like I say, it was probably only at 32 that I actually started turning things into a business. So that's, 25 years ago, isn't it?
Do you ever feel old being in the industry as a whole?
No, I don't, because I'm very young at heart. Listen, I know there's all the people around me are young, and on the odd occasion, I think, you know, 'cause it's different because youngsters have different conversations, don't they? Mm-hmm. You know, so, you know, when you sit with someone I was going to say older like yourself, but you're not that old yourself, are you?
I'm
but
in that middle, that
you're in the
yeah.
middle and everything, and people have more worldly conversations, and it's easier to discuss different topics. A lot of the young people don't know. My friend Goldie, he's like even older than me. He's about 67 now. He keeps talking about things in front of young girls. I was like, Goldie, they don't know who that is. They don't know who Starsky and Hutch are. Come on, mate.
Needs some new chat lines.
Yeah, he does need some new chat up lines for sure. So it's, there's different conversations for different occasions, isn't there, really?
Yeah.
But I think I'm surrounded by young people a lot of the time. Sort of hopefully it keeps me a bit young at heart and young mind and everything.
Yeah, and you've got a family, and family's important to you. You've got
Massive.
a daughter.
The most
right?
important thing. I've got a 20-year-old daughter who's just been here with me all summer.
So she comes partying with you?
She comes partying. We went to Sunny Federa last Sunday. Sunny Federa's her favourite DJ, and lucky enough, I'm friends with Sunny, and he invited us into the DJ box with him for the whole night, and it was amazing because Kiki's mum had actually come over that night as well. She'd come over for a week to stay at my house, and so the three of us went out partying together.
Amazing.
And with Dean Gaffney, who actually put me and Charlie together in the first place. So it was a real full circle life moment of obviously Dean introducing me to Charlie, me and Charlie having Kiki, then us all partying together. And I've done something I never usually do actually last week at Sunny Federa. I didn't drink, because Charlie doesn't drink. She gave up drink about 5 years ago. Kiki loves a drink, Dean loves a drink. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go out, see how I fare without drinking for the night. And I had the best night. Really good night, and that's something I never usually do. Like they say, you should try anything once, so I tried it.
You liked it?
I liked it.
Can you do it again?
I don't know.
How did you keep going all night though? Like, did you not feel tired?
I was buzzing.
Or?
Listen, when you're in the DJ and the boxing passion,
Yeah.
it's a very exclusive thing, very fortunate and lucky thing to be involved in there, and bouncing off Sonny as he's DJing to thousands of people and everything. It's an amazing experience. It's something you're very fortunate to be able to do, really. So I think with something like that, you don't need a drink, you don't need a drug. It's just the octane energy of the night, really, that sort of kept me going.
Yeah, I love that. And I guess a lot of people recently on social media I've seen have been talking about this sober lifestyle, and that being the way that they've chosen after years of partying or being in the industry for some time. Is that something you've ever thought about?
I think about it. Like I say, maybe when I'm in my 60s, I think I might do it for a while. I actually said when we hopefully one day, don't know when, sell our group possibly in the future, I think I will definitely take a year out of drinking. I've been doing it for 42 years. It's a long time. It's a big toll on your body and everything. Even though I train and try to keep fit, it's a massive part of my life, drinking and socialising and stuff like that. I have 6 litres of vodka on my table three days a week, and sometimes I go through 2 or 3 of those bottles. Not just me solely, but like with all the people I'm hosting to. So drinking has always been a massive part of my life, because I'm not a person who does drugs. I don't do drugs. When I say that, I do the occasional chocolate mushroom, but it's naturally grown.
Of course.
And I love chocolate. So I do sometimes take myself out of the normal zone on that, but, pills, cocaine, all stuff like that.
You never have?
Listen, over the years, I've had the odd thing. I've tried it a couple of times and, had a little dabble over the years and everything. I'd be a liar if I didn't say I did. But it's not something that's part of my life on a normal yearly thing or anything like that. I can't even remember the last time I've done something like that, a long time ago. And it's mad because a lot of people, when they meet me or they think they know you from social media, I met you last time, you was at your head, me and you were doing gears. Well, no, we weren't.
Yeah.
But people sort of have this perception because they think you're in this party lifestyle that automatically you're on drugs. And I don't really care what people think. My mum knows, my stepdad knows, my sister knows, Charlie, Kiki, my girlfriend, all of my mates know that I don't do drugs, right? So that's all that really matters on the people that matter to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you must have seen some wild things.
Yeah, I've seen all my mates lose it, literally lose it. And not just that, lose their life over it, more importantly. And I think that's one of the reasons I've been able to maintain a bit of a business head. Yeah. Some people, when they meet me, they say, oh, you're a lot more sensible than I imagine you to be. And I'll say, really? I have my moments. But I think obviously by not doing drugs has kept me focused, kept me sort of from losing the plot a little bit.
Kept you grounded.
Kept me grounded.
Yeah.
But the last time I did have chocolate mushrooms, I come home and I peed all over the carpet, and I totally lost the plot a little bit. So,
I love your honesty.
Yeah, I was, and I didn't know. Well, all my clothes were on the driveway, and my girlfriend was getting mad at me, and everything. But sometimes you do need that sort of escape.
Extreme.
Yeah, extreme. You know, just got a bit too greedy on the chocolate.
Absolutely. And so you still drink, and you are successful as well. Do you ever have days where you're like genuinely wiped out? Like, do you still get drunk after all these years?
That's another funny thing. People say, "Oh my God, I never see you drunk. Never see you drunk." That you sit there all the time, smiling, happy, and everything. I'm smashed inside. I think it's
smashed
this.
Inside.
I'm smashed inside, and I get off my chair, and I suddenly wobbling out through the club or anything. But I am hammered. I just got the way. I've got a good tolerance. Of it. I'll tell you when you want to catch me drunk is usually in May, April, May. Because obviously through the winter I don't drink as much as I do in the summer, even though I did last year in Dubai. So my tolerance level at the beginning of the summer is a lot lower, and I get pissed a lot quicker. But I'm a happy drunk.
You're a happy drunk.
I'm a happy drunk.
Good.
I'm happy. I'm not an aggressive drunk. I'm a happy, silly, soppy, like, want to cuddle and kiss everyone drunk.
That's a nice drunk. And listen, everyone knows your days next year, so you can come find you.
Come and join me Wednesday or Saturday next year and get a cuddle and a kiss off a happy drunk.
I love this. So let's talk women and the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
What, like, do you think that it is, so like O Beach, right, everyone in there is good looking, all the women that you employ and that you bring on board, is that intentional?
It's not. Yes and no. Yes and no, I'll be totally honest. Of course, if you've got a venue that's very aesthetically pleasing and it's very big on social media, you want things to look nice, you want your teams to look nice, but it's not the fundamental thing that I go for. I go for people who've got banter. I go for people who I can take the piss out of. I still go around the country doing the interviews myself, and we get thousands of people apply, and I sit there and, you know, interview some of the most beautiful women but they haven't got anything about them. I'm not just going to employ someone based on looks. I want them to look good, but I want them to be able to have the crack. I want to be able to take the piss out of them. I want them to be able to take the piss out of me, because that's the sort of customers they're going to be working with. They're going to be working in a beach club with thousands of people, drunk blokes and all that, all saying this, oh darling, this and that. So they've got to be able to give it. They've got to be able to take it, and they've got to be able to hold their own. And it's not necessarily about looks, because, you know, I've got girls who may be not as beautiful as some as the other, but they're great laugh. And you'd have much more fun going out with them. But I think we live in this very aesthetically pleasing world now, don't we?
Yeah.
And so I try and mix the balance on that. There's a lot of people who listen to this going, say, "True, you're such a liar. You only go for good-looking girls." That is not the case. You know, you have a look at someone, there's a real mixture.
Great stuff. And so social media in O Beach,
yeah.
I mean, you guys have just blown up and almost look like it is what Ibiza is.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, just going to that last question and this question, was when people actually come in there. I had a group of older ladies who are in their 60s joined me last week on the table.
Yeah.
And they came to me and they said, "Oh my God, we were so worried coming in here. Our daughters back home were going mad. You can't go to Ocean Beach, Mum. What are you doing? It's full of young, beautiful people. You won't like it." They came over to me. I didn't know them. And they just came up to me and said, "Tony, we just want to come over and say hello to you. We've had the most amazing day in here. We had all these perceptions and all this thing. We have had such a laugh. People watching. There's people in here of all shapes, sizes, ages. People letting go, not giving a shit, actually having fun, right? Which is, I find, probably the biggest USP about Ocean, is when people come in there, they really let loose and have a good crack." So in the end, I invited these ladies on the table and had the experience, and they met everyone, all my friends who were coming over, and they were like, "Wow, this is so different to how they actually perceived it in the first place of coming." And whereas there is people from all walks of life in there, you know, and people just really letting loose. And I love that.
That's amazing.
And they're all getting pissed.
That feedback as well.
Yeah, get that feedback. And be honest, they weren't the first people that day or that week who said it to me. I do get that quite a lot. And I think that's one of the things I love the most about it. Or people come in, or say some bigger girls who come in and will get a bit worried because they only see all the skinny, beautiful people on social media. Then they come in there and go, "Oh my God, there's loads of people of all shapes and sizes. Wow, we feel really comfortable." And that's what I love.
Yeah.
I buzz off that people, it doesn't matter who you are, what you got or anything, what shape, size, age, colour, creed, you can come and have a good crack.
That's what the dance floor is about.
Yeah.
That's why it was made.
And that's why I created it.
Yeah.
That's why I created it in the first place. I wanted a place where it wasn't pretentious, wasn't stuck up. You know, there is the odd time or the odd table like that. Of course there is when you get that many people. But for me, it's all about come and let loose and have fun.
Yeah. And so let's go back to the social media of O Beach and how you guys have almost set the bar for how many people see Ibiza now and how many young people see Ibiza. Would you actually claim that? Would you agree with what I said there?
Yeah, definitely. It was a time when we opened O Beach. We sort of really on that cusp of like, it was a similar time to when Ushuaia opened and suddenly daytime parties came in vogue and people had gone from Facebook to Instagram.
Yeah.
Right, you know, prior to that there was MySpace and other sort of, you know, social media things. But when we opened in 2012, 2013, Instagram had just started doing live stories. So it was very much, wow, you can be seen here, you can be seen there. Where previous to that, no one really could, apart from a video on their phone and things like that. So suddenly it was shared with the world. And we were right on that cusp. And then we had all the reality TV stars coming in, the footballers, the models, everyone sort of coming at that time when there was all these big shows on the TV like Geordie Shore and Towie and all these things. Obviously they still are, but at the time they were just all peaking as well. So all these people were coming to O Beach and suddenly it just snowballed really, really quickly. So, and we were very quick jumping on the bandwagon of getting a really good social media, digital media team, graphic designers behind that, and we really have been at the forefront of that. And obviously now that's all shifting again now with this AI and everything like that. But which is a good thing. But I love the realism of graphic design and social media and real, raw, natural things.
And you keep O Beach, Ibiza busy all throughout the season.
We're very lucky. We are lucky, but we work hard at it.
Yeah.
We've got a fantastic team who work behind the scenes in the winter. A lot of creative ideas, a lot of planning. What can we do? Trying to capture local trends and stuff like that. It's very. You know, social media is your advertising platform for your business, isn't it? Really.
And have you been in growth like year on year on year?
We have.
Yeah.
We haven't very. You know, lucky. We haven't taken a dip at all. It's grown and grown and grown every single year. Even this year, which was probably the most real year after COVID. You know, the 2 years after COVID, everyone was out, everyone had booked holidays, cashing in on what they had in the bank from the COVID period. But this year was a real year, and it's been a real shame because tourism, the island has suffered. A lot of my friends, a lot of our businesses have suffered, but we're quite lucky that O Beach being our golden egg has still climbed, which is fantastic. But I think that's a lot to do with, number one, the vibe and the place it is, but price as well. People are a lot more conscious of prices now, aren't they?
So you set your price and fix your price at something that's more obtainable for people.
Yeah, we really look at competitors. We look what out there. We look what alcohol charges there are, what sort of things are going to cost more, from production to DJs to musicians, and we just, you know, we're very fair. And staff salaries also have got to increase in rising times and everything. So we just got to stay on, do things bit by bit.
Nice. And so let's talk about staffing. I mean, Brexit absolutely ruined the island, and probably put a lot of pressure on you as business owners, right? With checks and are you doing things by the book and all this sort of stuff. What's changed for you?
I think, well, number one, I think if we'd all known that in the first place, no one really spoke about that when they was talking about Brexit, did they?
No.
And also, not just that, the whole 90 days that you're allowed to spend in Europe now. And what it's done more than anything, which is a knock-on effect, it's really lost a massive part of the worker community.
Yeah.
The worker community, all the big parties back in the day were built on the workers, really. Everyone used to give all the free tickets and the invites to the workers. You get the workers to come to your bars and clubs and everything. They're the ones who are on the street who tell all the tourists. And that's how it worked. And so since Brexit, and then it affects with the staffing situation, because we used to be able to employ British people, but now we can't. We can only employ Irish and other European passport holding countries and stuff. So we used to get about 5,000 people apply for amazing, for 150 jobs each year.
And it's a great brand for someone in hospitality to have on their CV as
well.
But
it's a shame for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, you're English or Welsh or Scottish, whatever. It's a real shame that you can't actually have that experience of going to a summer summer holiday resort and working, you know, and it's really sort of killed it, because that is like, you know, such a fun, you know, I was very lucky when I was 18. I went and worked in the Canary Islands and everything, and all my mates I worked with on the street, there was all British kids away for the summer. And now it's just limited who you can employ. You know yourself with a staffing agency, how difficult it is, and the laws and everything. And hopefully, if there's a new government down the line, there's some sort of deal they could do with the European Parliament and change that a little bit.
For work at least.
For work at least. Even if it's 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months, they're allowed to go and do these seasonal jobs in holiday resorts, because they really are missing out, the kids. Or not that, or that, they have to do it illegally.
Yeah.
And then you just come an illegal alien in the country, you're always looking over your shoulder. A lot of companies like myself, we can't employ anyone like that,
because they'll crack down on you straight away.
The fines are like astronomical, so we just have to say no to everyone, which is a real shame, because but it's obviously given the Irish a massive leg up and massive opportunity for all the Irish people. And we've got, you know, probably 30% of our workforce now are Irish, and they're having the time of their life.
Amazing.
They love it. We've rinsed Ireland for
Really?
all the staff.
So how do you do that practically then? Like, because you said you go and do face-to-faces, so you like going over to Ireland?
Yeah, we go to Dublin a couple of weekends.
Nice.
We do it. We take over a hotel or a club or a bar, and it's like the X Factor. It's a right laugh, and our interviews are very, very different. They've come a little bit legendary over the years. We've created a really party environment at the interviews. Like, imagine you was coming for a job. First thing is, you walk through the door, glass of wine, darling. Do you want a drink? Do you want a vodka? What do you want? Have a shot. And they're like, really? They're all there with their little CVs, all caught off guard a little bit. Say, no, come on, you're having a drink. The music's on in the background as we're doing the interviews, and that's the environment they're going to work in.
Yeah.
So I want to see how someone is straight away plunged into an working environment at an interview. And then we all have a big party after. We all go out, and then you see all the people you've got in the back of the mind who you potentially are going to offer jobs to. Then you see them that night out, and they're falling through tables, getting drunk, or sticking it on girls, and you think, there's no way I can employ that person. So
undercover.
Yeah, it's like an undercover interview in a way, but it's great fun.
It sounds like
it's great fun.
It sounds really good.
Yeah.
I think I need to. I need to come and check these out.
Yeah, you're always looking for staff.
Would I pass the test?
Let's see what you like after a few drinks, though.
Actually, I started my career as a shot girl.
Oh, there you go.
So I think I've still got it in me.
You still got it
19,
in you.
You know, I
Shot
knew how
girls.
to give it.
Yeah.
We all know to give it the gift of the gab.
Bandits. I
we
love
are
them.
literally the worst.
It's so funny. I was walking through the club the other day, and then we've got this shot girl, really sweet and innocent. She is, really nice girl, and she's not flirty or tarty at all or anything like that. And she was looking at this fella like with these docile eyes and everything. And this fella was staring back at her, and I just looked at her and I thought, all you caring about is getting to buy a tray of shots.
The tactics are amazing.
Yeah, I know, it's brilliant.
If you watch each human, like obviously I've studied shot girls because it's part of what we do, but they are all very different.
Yeah, they're all very different.
Very true to their character and the way that they are, you know.
We've got some who are some are very flirtatious, some who's literally, do you want a shot? Stone cold faces. We had a girl, Kim, got another girl, Angela, works for me at the moment as shot girls, and they're just like that. They don't really say anything. Yeah. And blokes feel intimidated. Oh, I'll buy one if I can make you smile and things like that. But you know, it's
human behaviour and dynamics, and I think that's one of the best things about our industry.
Yeah.
When it comes to staffing and anyone going into it, you're learning how to interact with humans on like the most relaxed area that they should be in when they're drunk. So you're going to deal with problems, and you're going to have to be resilient and think on your feet and still be nice.
It's all good. It's all good for the future.
It is, isn't it?
And that's what I'm saying. It's a shame that there's so many people missing out on that learning experience in life now.
Yeah.
You know, and doing stuff like that, whether you're shot girling or hostessing or working behind the bar, that interacting with different people.
Yeah.
Because you know, it's like from where you're back home and everything, how often do you meet loads of people from all over the place? You don't. You just meet the people in your local area and everything. You go abroad, suddenly you're meeting people from all over the world.
Yeah, and your worldview's change.
Worldview's changing, exactly.
Yeah. And so with Dubai, do you face similar recruitment challenges there, or what are your staffing challenges there?
Big challenges there as well. I really expected, even though we'd done a lot of due diligence on Dubai before we went there, and there's, you know, some of the finest hospitality venues in the world there, I really expected to be inundated when we put out an advert for all our staff, from bartenders, waitress, beach people, hostesses, you name it. the response was nowhere near as good as I really thought it was going to be. I was like, wow. And then I realised that not all, but a lot of the people in Dubai don't need to work. They're secure, or they live off partners, but more than anything, there's this culture in Dubai where so much is free for women. So much is free. And it's like, that was our biggest challenge in the whole thing, from staffing, from actually filling the venue on a daily basis, you know, because like literally there's all these agencies in Dubai where girls can sign up and go here, there and everywhere to all the top places for nothing. So it was a real challenge, you know, actually finding people who generally got the morals, who work for hard work and stuff like that. It was really, really, you know yourself, you've got a
Yeah, I mean, when
agency.
I first went out there, I saw this very interesting pattern where girls have been used to paying their rent in any other country they've lived in.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, from living there, there's a culture of finding the boyfriend that pays the rent. And the men would tell me they'd be asked this on like date 1 or date 2, literally. And the women would shamelessly tell me, yeah, like that's just what you do. And I just like, how has your mindset changed around knowing that you need to graft or work or pay to then you go into a new environment and it is the environment, like you said.
It's the environment, isn't
It's
it?
changed the way that
Very,
the
very
women
different.
interact. Yeah.
And it changes your opinion a little bit about people as well. You thought, wow, I never expected you to be like that.
Yeah.
I thought you had some really good sort of decent, hard-working moral ethics and things. But out there, it's really, not all, because I've got hundreds of girlfriends who work in beauty, hair hostesses, recruitment, real estate and stuff like that, who work really, really hard and everything. And I think they're the people who've got probably longevity there.
Yeah.
Those people, I think those girls that we were just discussing then, probably a bit fly by night, and I think Dubai,
Transient
I think
and,
the transient, and Dubai will eventually eat them up.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my opinion to that.
And a lot of people in hospitality have been slating just Gen Z in general, saying like this work, like the work ethic or the way that this generation approach work is maybe like they're less hardworking or they're less astute. Would you say you've seen that overall?
Definitely. I think now people are really sort of shy away from hard work. Oh, I can earn that sitting at home on my computer doing that, or I can go out influencing, take a few photos and earn that, which you get. Listen, everyone would love to do as little as possible, but to earn as much as possible. But if you haven't got that, you need to, for me, the only way that you get success is hard work.
Yeah.
It's never given to you unless you're minutely fortunate. And I think also, if you get success from hard work, I think you probably feel better as a person.
Yeah.
I know the success that we've currently got with our group, we've all had to work really hard for it. You know, it wasn't given to us. We weren't born with silver spoons in our mouth. We've all been skint, me and my partners. We've all been on the floor. We've all literally had nothing and everything. And I think that sort of gives you probably a bit of a better moral compass.
Yeah, and I guess you started with nothing. What was your upbringing like with
I'll be honest, I was very lucky. I come from a very nice house, come from a broken family, but I had a very nice house, which my dad bought when we was younger. But my mum always worked, always had jobs, and my stepdad's always worked. You know, they've had a nice roof over our head, but not sort of, you know, much liquidity at all in life and everything. But, you know, just went to the local schools and stuff like that and everything. But always had to work, always had a paper round, always straight out of school, got a job on a building site. I've always grafted, you know, and sort of, you know, had many, many years with nothing. But some of those best times in life, I must admit, is when you haven't got anything.
Yeah.
If there's anyone out there now who's going through, who's watching this and their skint are on the floor, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. You know, it all happens to us all. And it's never too late to change anything. Yeah, it can actually change. Like I said, at 32, I just went, right, get my head together.
Yeah.
I went and done a computer course. That's what I done after the fire. I went and learned how, you know, the world was changing then, everything was on computers. And I didn't know even how to turn a computer on, didn't know how to type or anything. So I went and done a 3 months solid computer course, learning all about emails and stuff like that. So I taught myself that, and I felt, suddenly when I'd done that, suddenly I felt a bit connected with the world.
Yeah, and relevant, I guess.
And relevant. And suddenly you could contact anyone or go on the World Wide Web at the time and everything like that, but well before social media again.
Yeah. And how do you see hospitality changing with AI and all of these current changes?
Do you know what? I haven't really looked at his map because it's around you every day and on social media.
Yeah.
We've got teams who are learning it now, who work for me and studying it a lot more, and they all really love it and everything. I'm a bit old-fashioned. I'm a bit old school. I still keep a diary on my desk and write on my meetings each day in that, And when I see all this AI stuff, it's great and it's fantastic, but sometimes it's distortion on reality.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Of like what is real and what isn't. And I don't like this fake world we live in of everyone, the way they are. But it's the way forward. It's the future. So I can't be blind to it and everything. But I don't really know.
Sounds like you've got your teams that are on that.
I've got my teams. I've got my teams who are on that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got the capacity in my brain to go out and learn it all myself and how to do it anymore. Can't even speak Spanish, which is terrible. So I'm not going to learn AI.
And it's knowing what you're good at. It sounds to me like you are good with the people, like you said.
Yeah.
You're good front facing, and you stay in your lane. I think
that's a 6-litre bottle of vodka on the table. Me and you would have a great day.
And get everyone else around you to do the things that they're good at and passionate about. Yeah.
Oh, my mate calls me GTI, good time instigator. and maybe that's what I am. I can have a good laugh, make people have a good time around me, and I'm very lucky. I've made a sort of successful business out of that, really.
Yeah.
I've got no qualifications or anything. I'm not stupid. I'm very, street smart and everything, but as in education or, stuff like that, I haven't got anything.
And do you see yourself staying in this industry long term? You said you might sell.
I think eventually we'll come to a point, a few years' time we'll sell. We're still growing. We've still got some amazing things bubbling under in the pipeline, which unfortunately I can't talk about just yet, but you're all going to come out very soon. We're just about to announce huge, great big deal. Huge game-changing deal for us.
In one of the same markets?
In the hospitality market, yeah. A massive, great big global partnership deal. We're hoping to sort of, put pen to paper on very soon. We've been working on that for quite a while, so that's going to be incredible. So it just sucks you back in. You just think you're getting out, and suddenly it sucks you back in with something else and everything. So I'll always be in hospitality. Even if I retire, I'll still do something, whatever. I love it. I love meeting people. I love having a crack. Don't you?
Oh, absolutely. That's why I got in it. The whole reason why I couldn't get out of it was because I love the people. Yeah, and face-to-face connection.
Yeah.
And I think for me in the world, it was spoken about with AI and social media and all that stuff, I come back to give me the real human connection.
Yeah.
And I think it's more important now than it's ever been.
Talking.
We actually were there and we're together.
Just conversation.
Totally.
It's actually, we're all so guilty of it. I am on my phone constantly all day long.
Yeah.
But when you actually put it down, I've had this few day break here, right? And honestly, I've put my phone down as much as I can the last few days. I've loved it.
Yeah.
I've just re-engaged with my girlfriend, talking to her a lot more than I have been. And just things like that, people around, you meet and everything. Just chatting, it's just really, really nice.
Yeah, and you see a lot of young people, and obviously you've got a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think relationships have changed for them? Like, back in the day, we were so connected, we'd meet people going out. Yeah. Has there been like a...
Easy to walk away back in the day, wasn't it? Now they know where you are all the time. It's like Big Brother.
Although I'd say the dating culture with apps and stuff like that, it's a lot more flippant, is it not?
I've never been on a dating app. Fortunately, I've been very lucky. I've been surrounded by beautiful girls all the time, so I've been very lucky that I haven't had to sort of go down that route and everything. But I don't blame people. There's so many people who, where do you go nowadays? You haven't got a local pub to go and meet someone. Where do you meet people? And especially if you're a busy person, dating apps I think were great for people. I've got so many mates who meet on dating apps.
I have seen that there's been a decline in the use and almost like an incline, or like people asking more for real human connection now.
Yeah.
And that there's like a prediction there might be a shift in them not being as successful as they were.
Yeah.
So for like your daughter, let's say, does she still believe in like human connection?
100%. She's old school. She's been brought up like I have and everything, and I've always you try and put them right or direct them, but they've got to make their own mistakes and everything. And I try and make her like, she's got a boyfriend now. Go, get on the train, go and see him. Fly him out here, go and meet him. Don't just have this relationship over the phone or FaceTime, or go and do real things. So I think that's the only way you actually really find out who that person is. Spending time with them, having a laugh, having a giggle, talking, meeting their friends and stuff like that. These people who have relationships online, just online relationships. If it works, if it
weird.
works for them, happy days. But not for me.
It's not a real relationship to me.
Not real,
No,
is it? You know?
No. And so over the years of being surrounded by all these beautiful women,
Great,
what's that
isn't it?
been like?
Amazing. Oh my God, yeah, I mean, it's every man's dream, isn't it, really, in a way, you know, and more than anything, being surrounded by all these beautiful girls and nice girls and not so beautiful girls and whatever, just female company. Me and my mates have always loved female company. We always have a crack with them, you know, have a laugh with them, have banter and everything, and it's all part of the job. And I think really one of the ways my business has always been successful from my early Trues Do's parties, which I initially started, which has been the catalyst for all of this. I've always had loads of really, really nice girls come to my parties. I've always been like 60%, 70% more occupancy in the events of women than it has guys and everything. And I think that's been so sort of nice. And, you know, I'm still really lucky. All my from my first girlfriend to my last girlfriend, we're still really good pals. And, you know, it's important to have that, you know. And all my mates go, oh, you're so lucky surrounded by all these lovely girls. But yeah, I'm very lucky. Very lucky.
And what do you think it's like? Is it easy to have a committed relationship in that environment?
For many years, I'd have said no. And it was something, you know, the temptation all the time and everything, especially when you're younger. But I think when I sort of got into my 50s, I thought, do you know what? I can't just keep going from girl to girl, chasing girls and everything, and I've been with Emily now for 5 years, and I've been really happy, really content, and have a bit, you know, she's given me a bit of a different outlook on life and a real stability to my life, because in that, you know, when you sort of at 50, again, sort of you have a big shift in each decade as you get older, from 30s to 40s to 50s. I didn't want to be like the oldest swinger in town. Like I see some of my mates and everything like that who are still singles in their late 50s, 60s, nearly 70s, still chasing girls and stuff. That's fine for them. I always looked at that and thought, I don't know if I want to be like that. And sort of, you know, having the relationship I've got with Emily, I've been very, very lucky again in that.
And how do you build trust when you are surrounded by loads of beautiful people, you're out all the time?
Yeah.
How do you build trust?
It's funny because she said to me only yesterday, she says, what other girl would put up with you coming home stinking of perfume, covered in makeup and all that every single day, stinking of vodka and all that, and all I see is pictures of you, all girls all over, and it's like, and I also say, yeah, that's true, but you can trust me because I'm not actually going off with other girls, and we all have a laugh. It's all work. I know it sounds really funny saying it, but it's work, but it's fun work.
Yeah.
You know, and how do you trust someone? Do you ever trust anyone 100% in life? You don't know. You know, but of late, I've been very, very trustworthy in that relationship compared to what I was like when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with that as well. I actually go home at night to her and our lovely Tiggy cat, and I'm really happy just doing that. You know, my other mates go, oh, you're boring now, she's got a bird and everything, and yeah, there might be an extent of that, but I don't want to go out all my life chasing women. I feel like I've done that, I'm over that a little bit.
Yeah, and I guess it takes just a certain type of person to understand the industry and understand your work. And
I think also because of the relationship I am currently in now with Emily, I met her at work. She was one of my hostesses, so she got to see me how I was on my table before with all the girls, because she used to be one of the girls who was always on the table and partying and having fun with us. So she knows actually, all those people, even though you're surrounded by all those people, you're not actually getting hold of them or anything like that. You're not, shagging them all or anything. You're just actually having parties and having fun with them.
Yeah, and I could come back to what you said.
My mates get all the perks.
You've got to be with the people to see that, though.
To see that.
Because if you were having this online relationship or this FaceTime relationship, you never get to see that, how you actually
perception,
are.
Isn't it? It's all perception of what people see. And my mates message me and go, oh, you're so jealous, who's that girl, and everything and all that. It's just friends.
Yeah.
You know, just because you've got loads of beautiful people with you or nice girls with you, don't mean you're with them all.
Yeah. And so do you think men and women can have really platonic friendships?
100%. God, I'm very lucky. I don't want to sound like a big head here, but I've got like hundreds of really, really top girlfriends in my life. From my girls at school, all through my teens, in my 20s, 30s, 40s, all totally platonic with all of them. Even now, if I said to Em, I'm going out with like 5 of my ex-girlfriends, she wouldn't moan, she wouldn't mind. She sees the relationship I've got with my daughter's mother. You know, we're all very close. We go on holiday. She comes and stays here. It's quite unique, really.
Beautiful.
But it is. But I think that's what you cultivate yourself and how you are as a person. That, like, total transparency.
Yeah.
I think it's the only thing.
Yeah.
You know, if I go out partying and I'm with a load of girls and go out all night, I come home and say to Emily, I don't say, oh no, I was with the boys having a crack watching football. I tell her exactly the situation I was in, you know, and stuff like that. So I think that honesty and transparency is the only way forward.
100%. And people feel that.
Yeah.
As well as you saying it and being logical with it, they can feel, experience that. That's really beautiful and powerful.
Yeah.
And staying friends with exes, a lot of people would say it's not a good idea.
No, I'm the master of that. I'm really good at that. I don't know how.
Why do you do it?
Why do I do it?
Yeah.
Because I think if you go out with someone, you go out with them because you like them or you love them or you fancy them or you have good times with them and all that. Just because you break up and you're not together anymore doesn't mean you shouldn't be friends. Mm-hmm. Even on sort of girls I've been with in the past who I've cheated on, I've still luckily remained friends. I've gone out with girls who've cheated on me. I've remained friends. I haven't hated them for it. You know, it happens. It's life and everything like that. I think it's... but obviously you have different temperaments in your life as you get older, don't you? In your 20s, you're all a bit more uptight and jealous and angry about things.
Yeah.
Your 30s, you're a bit, oh, well, whatever. 40s and 50s, you're like, whatever. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, you come just a bit more blasé about stuff and everything. And I think you become a lot more trusting as you get older as well. Because you realise the people who are around you, you don't have so many sort of bad eggs around you as what you probably carry when you're younger.
And you're finding yourself a bit more when you're younger.
You're more confident in your own skin.
Yeah.
You're more like, yeah, whatever will be, will be. If you're in a relationship, you want to go up with someone else, see you later, no problem, cool, go and do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Did any of your girlfriends get jealous though about your relationships with your exes?
A couple of times, time to time, but I wouldn't go out with a girl who was really jealous about that. I wouldn't. I think from you know, going on a first date, I would probably say, and this is the relationship I've got with this relationship I've got with her. They know I'm not sleeping. As long as they know you're not sleeping with them.
It shouldn't matter.
Can you go out with your ex-boyfriends?
Not with the person I'm with right now. No.
Really?
It's an area actually. I'm quite curious about it. We have different viewpoints. I'm quite like you. I think you can.
I think you totally can.
He doesn't see it the same way. He's open-minded, but not exactly the same way.
Would
no.
you go back and sleep with any of your exes?
Absolutely not. No, it's past that.
There you go.
So we'd piss our pants laughing before you did that.
Exactly.
You're actually like your brother to me now. Like, it's hilarious.
So that's totally how I feel. I wouldn't go back. So any girl I was with, no way. Listen, none of them want to sleep with me again. Yeah. That's what I got rid of me in the first place.
Like, what are you doing, you weirdo?
Exactly.
Like that kind of energy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
listen, if you've got that sort of mentality.
Yeah, it's one I think it's interesting because loads of people have different viewpoints on what they're comfortable with and what they're not. And when you're learning someone else, you kind of got to work out, does that work for me, does it not, you know? Yeah, but you're seeing black and white, it is what it is.
If you don't like it, I'm sorry, we can't move forward. It is what it is, really, isn't it, you know?
I love that. And so how would you say, at what point do you say that you feel like you've become more self-assured as you are now?
I don't know. I don't think it just comes a turning point. I think it just... I think with age.
Yeah.
I think just with age, as you sort of... My next big birthday is my 60th. And
when's that?
3 years' time. I'll send you an invite.
Love it.
Always great party. I don't know. I don't think there's a big sort of turning point of that as such. I think it's just like, when you're very relaxed. Do you know what? Actually, I moved into a new house in May this year. And I just felt suddenly really settled. I've been moving about from London to Ibiza to Dubai and going on holiday. And suddenly when I've just moved into this new house in May, and I remember the first couple of nights, I didn't even want to go out.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to the club, didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to sit still. And I just felt really, really content.
Yeah.
And happy and safe.
That's amazing.
Safe.
That's amazing. And was that here?
And having a cat.
I was about to say, you got a cat, you're going sober.
I'm not
going
sober.
One night.
One night.
I'm telling you,
one night and I've had one cat.
One cat, one night sober.
But I had a very stressful time in Dubai last year with the business, and we all did. As partners, it was really, really challenging, really took us back to the floor and everything of trying to get the business. How can we make it work? Wow, we've got a really famous brand here, and it's not working the way we wanted it to at that particular point, and everything. So it was a very stressful couple of months till we managed to find our feet, should I say. And my girlfriend came home with this rescue cat. And I've never been into animals. She's been asking me for years for a cat, and I've like, no. She came home with this cat. I instantly fell in love with it. I don't know what it was, because it was abandoned, it was on a building, it had been homeless on a building site, and I just felt this connection with something that was so obscure to me, and it really chilled me out. And when I was going through all my difficult times in Dubai last winter, I just wanted to go home at night and just sit there and play with my cat, who wouldn't answer me back, or wouldn't try and give me advice, or wouldn't talk to me about money or anything, and just really chilled me out. So I think actually having a cat is quite a bit of a turn. There you go.
So that's cat therapy.
Yeah, a bit of cat therapy.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Who needs to talk?
Get a little softy though.
I love it.
Yeah.
And so Dubai, you said, was struggling. You now said it's had a decent year.
It ended really strong. It ended really strong. I think up until February, March, but then the March, April, May, June were really, really good for us in Dubai. I think it's just getting established there. It's like anywhere. You don't go and just automatically crack it. It takes a while to change the local cultures, local people, local laws, local timings, and also local audience, because the audience in Dubai is very different to the holidaymaker UK British tourists that we get here, that what you get as a regular in Dubai. People live there, don't they? It's their home. So they're not going out spending the money like people think they are and stuff like that. But in the end, it finished really strong. We opened up last week. We had our soft opening, and it was fantastic. We had amazing numbers through the door, and it's our grand opening this Friday for season October, 2, and bookings are looking really good. So obviously a lot of the hard work and the groundwork that we done last year, hopefully it's gonna, if it can go up 15-20% this year, happy days.
Nice. Slow,
gradual process. It takes time.
Nice. And is there anything else you're working on that you can share that you're really excited about right now?
Not really. There's a few things bubbling under. We're doing a lot more. I'll tell you one thing we are doing actually. Over the years, we've always looked at expanding O Beach and everything, and wanting to go into other countries, Thailand, Australia, Bali, blah blah blah. We get inundated with requests, and we thought, well, obviously, each time you go and open up a new beach club like that, it's a lot of money. Multi millions to do it, and it's significant. Investing into a foreign country. So we thought, what we're going to do, start doing some world tours, give it the O Beach experience.
Amazing.
We've done a couple of pop-ups last year at the Dubai World Cup. We've done the F1 as well. So now we've just booked a tour of Thailand for 10 days for 10 dates in February. We're going to be doing Bali, we're going to be doing Australia, we're going to be doing all the big UK race courses next year.
Nice.
So that's an arm I've been working on, because it's like just throwing big one-off parties, which I've got great experience in, but moving about and taking it on the move a little bit. So people who can't always come to Ibiza or would never normally come to Ocean Beach can experience it in other areas. So that's something I'm really excited about.
That's a great
Then
concept,
if we find an area that the tour really works in, somewhere like Malta, which is a very emerging market at the moment, we might eventually open one there.
Amazing.
So it's like testing the water.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tony, for coming on today. You've been an amazing guest.
Thank you for having me. It's been really nice.
And I'm looking forward to that 60th birthday invitation.
It's there. You'll be there. Well, hopefully you'll be in Dubai this winter, so you can come and join us then.
I will.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thank
you. All right.
You.
Thank you for having us.